In this video, I'll show you how I made this pop-up card using the crossing slats with the open box technique. Hey there! Thanks for watching SquareType, the channel showcasing easy-to-follow pop-up card tutorials and demo videos. So this is another demo video and the tutorials to the mechanisms used here, which is the open box technique combined with the crossing slats technique. Those tutorial videos are up above. Links are up above and down below in the description field. I'm going to start off with a piece of paper here. This is cardstock 8.5 by 11. You don't have to use cardstock, you can just use a regular printer paper. And I cut out a 3-inch strip and I'm going to make this into my box. So open box. I'm not going to give you step-by-steps here. I'm just going to generally tell you what it is that I'm doing. Like right here, I'm making my square to make my box. I came up with this design because a viewer asked me to make something come out of a box, so I decided to make Santa's boots coming out of a chimney. So this is what it's going to look like when it's inside the card. It's going to be a box. So to make my crossing slats, I've folded my box back into a square, and then I'm going to cut out the sides of my slats about 0.5 centimeters wider on each side than the square, and I'm just going to generally cut a strip so that I can fold it in half and have two crossing slats. So I've got my two crossing slats here that I can make the arms for now, and I've decided to put my arms down at the bottom of the crossing slats, and then I'm just going to have that floating in the middle of my skin. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the tutorial video for crossing slats. So about a centimeter up from the bottom, I've marked out a line, and then I've folded my box back into a little square so that I can find the armpits for my arms. So I'm making those lines about 0.1 or 0.2 centimeters in from the edge of those of the box. See that? And that way I know where my armpits are going to be. I just need to show you where those arms are going to be sticking out. Let me just squiggle out the lines, the areas I'm going to cut out. And that way I can make my bones. And the bones are where the arms are. So there are my two bones with the arms at the bottom, and they're still connected together because I just folded it in half. So now I can separate those two bones. I'll just cut it along that fold line. And now I can make my my slit so that the two bones can connect together. So just on one bone, I'm kind of eyeballing where the middle of that bone is, making a line, and then taking the other bone, flipping it over so that the two arms, sets of arms, are on opposite ends of the bones, so it looks like a big H. And then I'm going to take my scissors and cut up two slits, parallel slits, up to that center mark. And then I'm going to pinch out that excess piece of paper so that I have these two slots, one slot on one bone and then the other slot on the opposite side of the other bone. And then they can fit together like this. But notice how they don't end up at exactly the same height. So that just means I cut the slots too short. I just need to elongate one of the slots. So I'm just elongating one bone by 0.2 centimeters. I'm giving you measurements, but really I'm just kind of eyeballing all of this. And there it is. Now they fit together. And now I can go back to my skin. So see my open box, it's going to be my skin, and notice where, just keep note of where the gluing tabs are, and mine are at the right side right here. So the right side of the screen, that is. So knowing where that is, I'm just going to mark out where the center of this square is, and then taking one of my bones and then putting the shoulder right where the shoulder of that arm right where the center of the circle is, and marking that out, and also marking out where the armpit is. And now I can just draw a line between those two marks, and that's going to serve as my arm slots, arm sockets. And I'm just going to take my blade, be careful with your blade, and I'm going to cut it a bunch of times so that the cuts go all the way through all four sides of my box. And now it's just a matter of pinching those pieces out so I have my arm sockets. And now I can put my bones through those arm sockets. But notice how my bones are taller than the box. So I want my bones to not be at the rim of the box, but instead be sunken inside. So I'm just going to cut my bones shorter. So stacking them on top of each other so the arms line up, I'm just cutting the tops off, making sure not to cut that part there so that they can still slot together like this. And now I can attach them to the skin. Once I have that, I can just kind of test out, make sure that everything's fitting, and see what it looks like in the card. And that's basically it. That's really all that you needed to cut out for this pop-up. I think if you don't already have some stickers to serve as the boots, then that would be the other thing that you would have to make, is just a couple of pairs of a pair of boots. And here I'm just drawing in the bricks to my chimney top, and then I'll have the boots ready sitting on the side there, and I just have to reassemble the chimney, putting the bones with the skin and then gluing them into the card, making sure that when it's flat that it actually stays inside the card and it doesn't peek out the edge of the card, and then just gluing the tabs on, and then putting glue on the boots and attaching those onto the crossing slats, so it really does look like it's in the middle of the chimney. And the rest of it is really just drawing. But now you can see that when you know a lot of different types of pop-up mechanisms, you can combine them in any way that you want to make really interesting greeting cards. So I hope you have fun with this. I hope that it goes quickly for you, and it becomes even easier the more you do it. And when something is easy, it's fun. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like this video or disliked it, or just leave me a comment below and share this video with your friends if you liked it. And remember to subscribe to my channel or just check out my other videos on Square Type.